A young lady could be seen riding a scooter on the roads, late in the evening. She had a pink helmet over her head for protection. The road was quiet, but she was not scared, even though she found it somehow off. This particular road was not always busy around 07 p.m., but some cars still passed by around that time. As she rode her scooter, she noticed a blaring light from a vehicle ahead. The vehicle had stopped in the middle of the road. However, the lights from the headlamps made it hard for her to see clearly. As she approached the car, she almost screamed in shock. The scene. She discovered that she had encountered a hit-and-run incident. The bonnet of the car was damaged beyond repair, and the windscreen was shattered. In the driver's seat, she saw a gray-haired man with his face down on the steering wheel. Feeling scared, she dismounted her scooter and approached the damaged vehicle. She almost screamed again when she stepped on broken glass at the scene. When she reached the driver's side, she discovered that the old man still had his eyes open and was bleeding from his head. He looked too weak to say anything, but managed to glance at her and make faint movements with his fingers. Jia Li had her mouth covered with her hands as she stared at the old man in shock. His bloodied face was frightening. Taking action. Regaining her composure, Jia Li muttered incoherently as she took out her phone from her jacket pocket. "That's right. I need to call the ambulance." She dialed the emergency number, trembling as she did so, chills running down her spine. After reporting the emergency and providing the location, she put her phone back in her pocket and rushed back to the car. Seeing that the old man's eyes were still open, she waved her hands in front of him. "Hello, sir. Are you okay? Can you hear me?" she asked, her voice filled with fear and concern. The old man stared at her, his vision blurry, slowly losing strength. To show he heard her, he moved his fingers faintly. "Thank goodness!" Jia Li exclaimed, slightly relieved. "My name is Jia Li, and I've called the ambulance. They will be here in 5 minutes. Please hold on." Despite her fear, she knew she had to keep him conscious until help arrived. Growing up with her mother, a nurse, had taught her a lot about emergencies. The old man was remarkably strong to remain conscious after such a serious accident. Considering his age, he should have passed out immediately, yet he was still fighting to stay awake. The arrival of help. A minute later, as Jia Li kept the old man company, she heard the sound of the ambulance approaching. Hope flooded her eyes. "Sir, the ambulance is here," she announced, her joy evident. The old man, on the brink of unconsciousness, reacted to her excitement, his blurred vision catching the sight of the approaching ambulance. He couldn't hear the footsteps of the medics as they arrived, but he could see their blurry figures checking him before moving him to the ambulance. As they carried him out, a brown leather wallet fell from his back pocket. Jia Li picked it up and hurried after them. "Are you his family member?" one of the medics asked as they laid the old man down inside the ambulance. "No," Jia Li replied softly. Seeing her concern for the accident victim, a female medic said, "Allow her to join us." With that, Jia Li was allowed into the ambulance, but she glanced back at her scooter and the scene. "Don't worry. The police will keep your scooter safe, and they'll come to the hospital to get a statement from you," the female medic reassured her, as another medic placed an oxygen mask on the old man. Looking at him, Jia Li felt a wave of fear wash over her. It seems like he not only got a head injury, she thought, observing the old man closely while the medics worked. Her gaze shifted outside the vehicle, where police cars were approaching the accident scene. Jia Li felt a pang of pity for the old man. She had lost her grandfather in a hit-and-run accident a few years ago. That incident had left a scar in her heart, as she had been quite close to him. He was hit by a drunken driver while out for a stroll in the evening. Her grandfather died, but the driver survived. The irony of life weighed heavily on her mind.